Hi, I watched Close Friend and here's my reviews. Close Friend is a compilation of 6 short different stories featuring different actors every time. I didn't rate them personally, each stories. It was a bit difficult, but I did put them in an order from least favorite or the one that I found least good to my favorite or the one I thought was the best. So let's start. The story that I like the least is the third story with Nat and Max. In terms of acting, I think this is the weakest of the 6 of them. Even though it's only 20 minutes, I had a hard time going through the whole thing. It was very difficult and it was also very weird in my opinion. And I don't really like this thing of talking to the viewer, watching right into the camera. I just really don't like this type of thing. So this plus everything else. Very least favorite. I didn't like this one at all. Second one that I didn't really like, unfortunately, it's the story with Ohm and Fluke. This one, in terms of acting and production, it's a lot better than the one I just talked about. But for this one, it's really the story that struck to me that I didn't like at all. It's a weird theme. I mean, clearly the character played by Fluke doesn't want to stay in this relationship. For me, there's just no love from him. I just see it as him being kind of fused to being with Fluke, just not loving him anymore. And I really didn't like that. And the fact that Fluke asking him to continue pretending and things like that, I just find it really toxic. No. The whole 20 minutes, I thought this story was leading to a breakup because the theme of the drama is kind of portraying 6 different types of love. So I thought, okay, they're starting with a breakup. So I didn't like the whole story, and then this ending came up and I thought it was even worse than a breakup. So unfortunately, even though I like Ohm and Fluke, both of them, I couldn't like this story either. Next one is the second story with First and Ta. So this one, I pretty much like it, honestly, but compared to the other ones, no. As a big cat lover, of course, I always like stories involving cats, as long as they don't die. I will always be traumatized by this Korean drama I watched with a cat and dies at some point. Anyway, so right away you kind of understand that it's this kind of love between a pet and the owner, this kind of thing. It's still a strong link. Pretty quickly, I think you understand that it's not going to be about romance because, it's pretty much just a cat. Sure, you see a human form of the cat, but it never becomes a human to the other character. So it can't be romance, otherwise it would be a bit weird. So it was pretty nice. Sometimes a bit weird to see a human cat this way, but really cute. The last 3 stories actually fall in order, and so first one is the 4th story with Lei and Yoon. I really like the music they used in this one. I don't know if it's because I didn't pay attention really to the music in the first 3 stories, but for sure in this one I was really touched by the music. And I really like the plot this story has. My only problem, like usual, is that of course it is first too short, but second I didn't really understand their relation. The way I understood it at first is that they are complete strangers, and I think it's the case, and for this reason it's way too quick. But I keep thinking that maybe if they were friends in the first place, then it would change things a lot. But overall, I really like the idea behind. So I found it pretty cute, and I wouldn't actually mind a longer version and a better made version too. Next up is the 5th story with Jimmy and Tommy. I really like the story behind this. same again, I wouldn't mind a full-blown story about this. I really like the idea of having, this kind of pen pal friend and, talking for so long, and then one day finally meeting. And yeah, I really like the idea. I don't know what they wanted to do with this story, if they really wanted to show a friendship or not, because it does end with nice to meet you, friend. That, like, they really emphasize the word friend. So if the goal was really to make a friendship, I think it didn't really work, because I never, well, at first of course, but throughout the duration of the episode, I never really saw them as friends, except at the beginning, of course. So when he said friend, I was really, really taken aback. That's the only thing I have to reproach to this short little story, is its will, because of this at the end. But otherwise, I really like it. I think the acting is pretty solid in this short episode too, and production-wise, it was pretty nice too. I mean, pretty to look at. And finally, the story I liked the most is the sixth. And finally, the story I liked the most is the sixth. Je vais dire the last, j'arrive pas à le dire. And finally, the story I like the most is the last story with Copter and Kimon. This story features, of course, the love a fan can have for an artist. And while I'm not sure I understood everything that happened with the virtual reality and the real artist and everything, it was a bit weird, I would say, a bit confusing. Even though it's like this for me, I liked it so much. I'm not sure exactly why, but I think one of the things that really made me like this little story a lot is how Copter plays in there. Last time I saw him, it was with Kimon too, but I can't remember the name of the drama he was in. I can see the drama in my head, but I don't remember. But he was kind of playing, I would say, kind of a tsundere character, and I really don't like the tsundere personality, so I didn't really like it, but I really like the personality of the character he portrays in this drama. It made me see him in kind of another light. It's actually very nice to see him have a complete different personality from the personality he had in that other drama. As well as this, I think it's very cute and actually pretty funny. I did laugh a lot watching this short episode, so it's always a plus. And like the two other stories right before, I actually wouldn't mind a full-blown version of this. I would watch it for sure if they can keep up with the quality and acting and all the funny parts. Contrary to what I thought, that it was going to be 3 episodes for one couple and 3 other episodes for another, it's actually mixed all together. So for this couple, just like I just said, it's a couple I really don't like. I didn't enjoy watching them at all, and like I said, I thought they were going to end on a breakup. And I really didn't like this idea of kind of Pierce forcing himself to act like he was still in love with Typhoon. So on this second season, this is kind of gone. I don't know how you interpreted the first season, but like I said, it was this kind of relationship for me. So going into season 2, I don't really know what I was expecting for them, but certainly not something where it felt like Pierce was actually really still in love with Typhoon. So I really couldn't enjoy their relationship at all because of what they had done with the first season. Also, I feel like while I could understand Typhoon to some degree on the first season, well, not about this part of pretending to still be in love, but while I could kind of understand his feelings for the first season, in this one, it's a bit weird. I think he feels very whiny, feels kind of very, I don't know, maybe I could say entitled. I don't know, kind of selfish and always thinking of himself, if I could say it like that. The only moment I can really understand him to some degree is about the parents thing. So, first part, I don't agree with him that he's really mad that Pierce hasn't told his parents yet that they are a couple. This I don't really understand. Give your boyfriend the time he needs to tell his parents, right? But on the other side, Pierce hasn't even mentioned Typhoon to his parents before. So I could understand why you would get mad, because if I put myself in Typhoon's shoes and I was with a guy for 4 years and he had never ever mentioned me to his family, I would feel like trash, I think. So that's the only moment I could really understand him. As for the story with them, well, it's mostly drama happening, it's mostly conflicts, actually like the second couple. And that's something I don't really enjoy watching. I need some peace time, I need some cute moments, and mostly in this season, it's none of this. So this is really the thing that bothered me the most, I think, in this season. Anyway, that's it for the first couple. I don't have anything else to say except that, yeah, I wasn't feeling it at all because of the first season, and I couldn't really link this season to the first one, so... Now for the second couple, like I just said, I think it's too much drama as well in this story, and so it's less enjoyable for me because I don't enjoy seeing drama and conflicts all the time. That said, I still prefer this story a lot compared to the other couple. First, because it's really in the continuation of the first season, so it doesn't feel like there's something wrong. And also because overall, I just really prefer their relationship altogether. And I feel like they do have a bit less drama than the first couple. The thing that I especially like in this season is how they show you that it was actually Jedi all along in the VR that Rey was seeing in the first few episodes of season 1. That even if it was not Jedi himself as a person, he was still the one controlling the thing and being there, if I make sense. So I really like that because it's something that you don't really grasp or understand in the first season. And it was something I was expecting to have an answer for in season 2. So I'm glad they do it. I think it's not really realistic, but I don't mind at all. I really like it. And it's to show that in the end, it doesn't feel too rushed. How to say that? Their relationship doesn't feel too rushed, like Jedi kind of fell for him out of nowhere, because he was kind of still experiencing the relationship with Rey at the same time. So I really, really enjoyed that. Maybe the only thing that kind of bothered me too is Rey a bit, not really on the whiny side as much as Typhoon is, but still a bit... Clearly, most of the drama comes from his side, and it's a bit of a letdown compared to the first season, because what I recall from first season, Rey was actually very, very funny. So a bit of a letdown on this side too. But I still found them very sweet, and when they had nice moments together, I was really into it compared to the first couple where I just couldn't believe in their relationship at all. And... yeah, also, although the ending is kind of very, very cheesy, I'm not gonna lie, I still enjoyed it. Actually, when I think about it, a lot of things are very cheesy in this drama, but it's the kind of cheesy I like. So yeah, overall, I still had a good time, but a lot of flaws. As long as you spent a good time, I think it's maybe worth a watch. Also, if you haven't watched season 1 and you could be interested in season 2, well, you can watch season 2 without watching season 1. Well, for the story with Rey and Jedi, I think it's best to have the first part. It explains more But clearly for the story with Typhoon and Pierce, you really don't need it. So yeah, you can watch it without season 1. Okay, and now this really closes my review for Close Friend. Don't hesitate to tell me about your thoughts on these 2 seasons and your favorite stories out of them, and if you were disappointed that some of the stories were not made into longer versions like these ones. Bye bye!